Welcome to BSS Studies. I am Bala. Today I will explain about distances and the directions. Here minimum one question they will ask in competitive exams or IMO or any other maths Olympiads. Okay. So if you see first one, directions. Directions. So we have only four directions which are north, south, east, west. So these are the directions which are used. Okay. So there are another four directions which are present in main directions. Northeast, northwest, southwest, southeast. Okay. So these are the main directions: north, east, west, south. Those are main directions. And northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast are directions which are present between main directions. Okay. See here, north, east, west, south are main directions. Main directions which are north, east, west, south. North, east, west, south. Okay. In daily life, we learn newspaper. We read newspaper. So in that newspaper is spelling is NEWSPEPAPER. So news means, the definition of news is north, east, west, south. Newspaper, north, east, west, south. That means what is going on in India, which are locations is north, east, west, south. So that is newspaper. Okay. So these are the directions. The main directions are north, east, west, south, and those are main directions. And another four directions: northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. So these are the intermediate directions. Intermediate directions. Okay. So these are the directions. And another topic in directions. The topic in directions, those are angles: north, east, west, south. Those are angles. Here 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Here also 90 degrees, which means the angle between two main directions are 90 degrees. The angle between two main directions, north and east, angle is 90 degrees. And here if you see north and west, angle is 90, and south and west 90, east and south 90. Okay. So these are the angles. The angles between directions is 90 degrees. Okay. And if we see here, north, northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west, northwest. So the total angle is 90, and the angle between north and northeast is 45 degrees. And the angle between northeast and east is 45 degrees. And the angle between east and southeast is 45 degrees. And the angle between southeast and south is 45 degrees. And the angle between southwest and southeast is 45 degrees. And the angle between southwest and west is 45 degrees. And the angle between west and northwest is 45 degrees. And the angle between northwest and north is 45 degrees. Okay. So these are the angles when intermediate directions are there. Okay. So these are the angles which are at main directions, and these are at intermediate directions. Okay. So these are the angles. And directions. Here we have to learn about CW and ACW, which means CW means clockwise. Clockwise. Clockwise means like this. This is clockwise. We have to go like this. This is clockwise. And if we say anti-clockwise, 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 like this we have to go. Anti-clockwise. So this is clockwise and this is anti-clockwise. Clear? And directions topic is completed. And our next topic, distances. Distances. Here distances are represented with S. And here what is distance? In physics you already learnt about distance. The distance means the length of the path which you have travelled. Okay, the length of the path which you have travelled. And here another important, displacement. S bar. Here distance is represented with S and displacement is represented with S bar. Because this is scalar quantity, this is vector quantity. Okay. So if you see here, I am taking this is a point A and this is point B. There are three paths to go from A to B. This is one of the path, 5 kilometers. And this is one of the path, 4 kilometers. And this is one of the path, 10 kilometers. Okay. There are three paths to go from A to B. So if you see here, there are four distances. I am taking this is a first path, second path, third path. In first path, the distance from A to B is 5 kilometers. In second path, the distance between A to B is 4 kilometers. And the third path, the distance between A to B is 10 kilometers. So these are distances. And if you say displacement, displacement means the shortest distance that you have travelled. Which means if we compare all three distances, all three paths, the shortest distance is this, 4 kilometers. So the shortest displacement of from A to B is path 2, that is 4 kilometers. So this is displacement. Okay. And distances and direction topic is completed and we will do some problems. Okay. And problems. And if you see first question, Simran starts from point A, walks 5 kilometers due to east, then turns left and walks another 4 kilometers. Now she turns right and walks 2 kilometers. In which direction does she end up? If you see question, here they give first, she starts from point A. Here I am taking this is a point A and walks 5 kilometers due to east. East means like this. I am writing direction C, north, south, west, east. East means like this. So like this 5 kilometers 5 kilometers and due to east, then turns left. Left means upwards and walks 4 kilometers. Okay, and now she turns right, again right, and walks 2 kilometers. In which direction does she end up? Means here east, north, east. Here the final direction is east only. See, this is east. Okay, so this is east. So the answer for this question is east. Okay, so like this we can do in problems, distance and directions. Okay, this is first problem. And the second problem, one day Rijwan left home and walked 10 kilometers south, takes right and walks 5 kilometers, again takes right, walks 6 kilometers. In which direction is he facing now? Here I am taking, this is Rizwan's house and he walks south towards south 10 kilometers and takes right. Right means like this. Okay, takes right and walks 5 kilometers. 5 kilometers. Again takes right and walks 6 kilometers. 6 kilometers. In which direction is he facing now? Here we already learned the directions. What are directions? North, east, west, south. Okay, so these are the directions. So this is towards south and this is towards west and this is towards north. So the final point is here, initial point is here. So we have to find in which direction is he facing now, which means north. Finally he stops at this point, so the direction is north. Okay, so like this we can do, or another method, trick. So if you see the trick, first he takes first right. So before going to trick, I will explain some points. See here, when you come across same, you have to add, and when you across opposite, when you come across opposite, you have to cancel. Okay, so first note down this trick. So in this question, first we have to write how many rights he taken or lefts, or right or left. So if you see here, first right and second also right. So he took 2 rights. He took 2 rights. So which means when these are same, when directions are same, we have to add. So here 2 rights. Here when we add 2 directions and when they are same, we have to add. So here 2 rights are there. So 2 rights are there means here when we turn here like this right, here this is 90 degrees right. Okay, here this is 90 degrees right. So 1 right means 90 degrees, 2 rights means 180 degrees right. Okay, so if we apply here in this diagram 180 degrees right, first he towards south, he is in towards south, which means 180 degrees right means like this. Okay, so this is north. Now he is facing in north. Now he is facing in north. So this is one of the trick, or if you want to draw a diagram, your wish. Okay, so this is easy method for like this questions only. Okay, so this is second problem. third problem. A ship is sailing in southeast direction. By what measure of an angle to make its direction as southeast? Here we already learned the directions: north, south, west, east, northeast, northwest, southwest, southeast. Okay, so these are the directions. And if you see a ship is sailing like this. Okay, by what angle to make it direction as southeast, which means southeast is like this. Here the angle is 90 degrees. How? If you see here, a ship is sailing like this, and we have to do like this. Okay, so we have to take it as like this direction. So the angle between these two is 45 plus 45, 90 degrees. So the angle here is 90 degrees. Okay, here 45 degrees, here 45 degrees. Okay, so this is third problem. And fourth question. A man started walking from a point towards south. Here in this question, a man started walking from a point towards south. Here I am taking point. He going towards south. He turned right at right angles. He turned right at a right angle. He turned right at a right angle. Then again right. Here I am drawing neatly. See. Here this is point. This is south, and it took right at right angle, and again right at right angles, and again right at right angles, and then again right at right angle, and again right at right angle. And in which direction does he end up? Here towards south he gone and took a right at right angle. Right angle means nothing but 90 degrees, and gone. Again he took right and go on. Again he took right at right angles. And this is ending point. And they are asking to find in which direction does he end up. In which direction does he end up? Which means, what is this direction? North, south, west, east. What is this direction? East. East. Okay. So by doing not like this, another trick is there. If you see trick, we have to consider only lefts and rights. See here, how many rights or lefts are there? Towards south, and he turned right, and again right, and again right. 3 rights are there, so write 3 rights. If we add these 3 rights, because these 3 are same, so if we add these 3, so 3 rights. 3 rights means 1 right is 90 degrees. 3 rights means 270 degrees right. Okay. Now we have to consider from south 270 degrees, which means here 180 plus 90, 270. So this is 270 degrees. So in which direction he is going now? East. From south he is going to east. So in which method? In any another method also we get only east. There is no answer for this question. Okay. So this is fourth question. And the fifth question. A bike is going towards east, took right at going 5 kilometers, and it took left and going 6 kilometers. Then in which direction does bike is moving? So I am taking bike is moving like this towards east, and it took right, which means like this 5 kilometers, and took left like this 6 kilometers. So in which direction does bike is moving? Which means here right and took right. Here is this bike is going towards east and took right and 5 kilometers gone and took left and 6 kilometers gone. And the final point is here. Initial point is here. And the direction does bike is moving at present, which means east. Okay. So if we see the simple trick, first we have to write what they gave, right or left. So if we see here, first right and took left. So these are two directions. So these two gets cancelled because these are opposite. So the remaining is 0, which means east, going in east and also going in east only. 0 means present direction we have to write. Okay. So the answer is east. Okay. So this is fifth sum. And today topic is completed. ఈ వీడియో కనుక మీకు నచ్చినట్లయితే ప్లీజ్ లైక్ చేయండి, షేర్ చేయండి, సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయండి. If you have any doubts, please comment on the comment box. Thank you.